as we move along. So perhaps towards the end you can join in and ask questions or just interject, whatever you feel like. Okay?
Okay. So what Andrew and I decided to do is a great way to start a conversation was to ask each other a few questions. Not know exactly how the questions would be phrased, just more or less what they'd be on, but we thought a good starting place, of course some of you just saw in the last talk, is really about why pataphysics? So from looking at AI and the web and creativity and all these things, we talked about what is it that pataphysics bring and why in essential those people here who are either pataphysicists or thinking about becoming such, why should they be interested?
Well, of course, any pataphysician will tell you that we're all pataphysicians. We just don't necessarily know that we are.
Sorry, I should have, if you couldn't hear in my voice, there was an apostrophe first.
So I think we've, over the last couple of days, had a pretty good demonstration why pataphysics would be interested in the web and this technology. So what I'll say about it is probably something of a summary of some of the ideas we've already heard. Are you hearing me?
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think the first thing to comment is that pataphysics is the science of sciences. So pataphysicians, as I think Michel Saint-Germain said yesterday, are always interested in any phenomenon, because each phenomenon is new and unique as far as pataphysics is concerned. Remember that the Jarry's objection to conventional science is that it's generalizable, so things are always the same in any situation in traditional science. And as far as Jarry was concerned, this was a mistake, that basically each occurrence is unique. And so of course we're interested in this technology as much as we're interested in things that aren't this technology. But having said that, I think there are some specific reasons why pataphysicians would be interested in the web and the semantic web, as we've just heard in particular. And I think it comes down to probably this interest in playing at the limits of language and logic. And I think the semantic web has both of those components as its constituent elements. And I use the word playing because I think playing is what we do. I think pataphysics is a very creative activity, well, I find it is. And so it's a source of creative energy. And for that to work, there has to be an element of play. I think play is at the root of creativity. So when you think about all the great pataphysicians of the past, people like, well, obviously Alfred Jarry himself, Marcel Duchamp, Jean Baudrillard, Umberto Eco, Eugenie Ionesco, the Marx brothers, MC Escher. All these people, when you think about them, what have they got in common? They all play at the limits of language and logic. So I think the semantic web, our interest in it is about where the logic can take us, how we can perhaps play with the logic, and what the language is that makes up the semantic web, and how we can play creatively with that. So to me, that's the primary motivation, and as you know, quite a bit of my work is about exactly this. So perhaps we'll talk about that some more. Does that answer your question, Jim? Thank you. Good. So I was going to ask you something. So we wrote a paper together, which was called Creatively Abusing. This is abusing with the AB in brackets, so abusing the World Wide Web. So it was a paper about a technology we've been working on called the syzygy surfer. And what I wanted to ask you was why the subtitle, abusing with the AB in brackets?
Great question. So to give you a little background, there's some commonalities between what Andrew and I were looking at in the syzygy surfer and the last